Don's TV. I'm Dr. No. So we're going to get into the Ryanair racism row that happened of recent times involving David Mesha and Delsie Gayle. They were both on a Ryanair flight. Delsie Gayle suffers from a disability and can't move as quickly as other people. David Mesha was trying to get to his seat, and I think while he was sitting down was trying to maybe get out of his seat, or, you know, trying to get in and out of his seat during the flight. And because he couldn't get to his seat quickly enough, he unleashed a tirade of racial abuse onto Delsie Gayle, which was quite unnecessary. Let's take a look.
If you don't go to another seat, I'll push you to another seat. Don't talk to me in a foreign language, you stupid ugly cow. I will carry on as long as I can with this ugly blasted.
This guy's just vexed me, you know. Consider me terribly vexed. What's he dealing with? The expletives and the racial tirade of abuse are way too much. Complete and utter antics is what's going on there. The continual reference to black ugly, the focus of ugly, the reference is historically specific. The reference to ugly, historically specific to medieval texts, early modern English texts that refer to Africans as ugly, horribly misshapen, refer specifically to women as their black skin colour being aesthetically inferior to the white skin of females, black skin being terribly miscoloured, discoloured, and all sorts of reference to the fact that black skin is ugly and those with black skin are horribly misshapen. A plethora of texts littered by Europeans referring travelogues, people referring to those, you know, people that have travelled, referring to what they've seen and referring to blacks as ugly continually. So that is a central trope within European racial ideology, early modern English texts containing that racist reference, right through from medieval texts, right through into the early modern period during the European Renaissance, right in there, anticipating the Enlightenment or the Age of Reason. So it is there. It is a very specific historical reference, and there are a plethora of references to black skin being ugly. So this guy didn't just make it up from nowhere. He didn't make it up. He didn't just get that from nowhere at all. He is referencing something very specific. Now we're going to go and have a look and see what this character's got to say for himself.
No, I had to get to the window seat and ask her to. I said, I've got to get to the window seat, and there didn't seem to be any response. And then I asked her again, I said, excuse me, I have to get to the window seat. And she didn't seem to want to get up, or didn't seem to. And then I probably lost my temper a bit and ordered her to get up.
And do you regret, Mr. Mesha, the words that you used to this lady?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not a racist person by any means. And it's just a fit of temper at the time, I think.
And what would you say personally to Mrs. Gayle, given the chance, what would you say personally to
Well, I
Mrs. Gayle?
apologise for all the distress you've had there and since.
Bomb! Hey! This guy has tried to say he got a little angry. He got a little angry. He got a little angry, and he's not a racist. What's wrong with him? Of course he's a racist. In what universe is he not a racist? He got a little angry. He couldn't be calmed down. The attendants couldn't calm him down. The guy behind his chair couldn't calm him down. Nobody could calm him down. When people were talking to him, the guy was saying, no, I will carry on. I will carry on, and continued to lay into the poor lady with expletives and all types of antics that he was going on with there. As I've already said previously to this, it is a historically specific reference that is there, a historically specific evil in the text that I was telling you about previously that he is referencing. It is part of a British identity that he's tapping into. He's identifying himself as agreeing to the racist ideologies of the early modern period, the medieval period that predates it, and these early texts. He's identifying with it. He's choosing to identify with that British form of British identity, that British identity that is intertwined, intrinsically intertwined with racism. He's chosen to do that specifically. It is a historically specific reference. So it wasn't that he just got angry. The words that came out of his mouth were learned. They were learned. And I dare say they would have been rehearsed and performed all of his life. This probably being one of many incidents that we don't know about. You can't use that language and say that you just got angry. Because it is practiced, it is learned, it is embedded in your psyche. It is there. So no, you didn't just get angry, and yes, you are racist because these things are embedded deeply within your psyche, within your makeup, and within your identity. It is part of, an intrinsic part of who you are. And that was clear for the world to see. So I don't want to hear no more of this mess. In terms of the apology from David Mesha, it's a non-entity. It doesn't exist really there. The apology is not genuine at all. If the apology was genuine, it would have happened on the flight directly there to Gayle. And it didn't. It only happened after this situation blew up in his face. Therefore, it is not a genuine, it is not a legitimate apology and should not be seen as such. This is someone who is criminal, who is selfish, and who should be brought to justice. This is hatred in 2018 and it has no place there. And he really is someone who should be brought to justice. Again, if you like the post, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.